all-wheel drive 1,250 horsepower Corvette ZR1X, and GM says it will run the quarter mile in 8.675 seconds. Holy cow. But that's on a surface with glue smeared all over it. What about regular old asphalt? Dare I say that matters more? I dare. And that's why we're running it on regular old asphalt against the quickest accelerating car we've ever tested, the Lucid Air Sapphire, which makes just 16 fewer horsepower. And for perspective, we've brought along 2 other cars that we might otherwise describe as fast. Alas, using instrumented testing gear and scientific testing methods on regular old asphalt, we will find out whether the Corvette can outrun the Lucid, earning the crown of the quickest accelerating car you can buy. Also, we'll watch it all unfold through the eyes of 2 cars that you would think are fast. If you have a special car, you should consider having Hagerty protect it. It is insurance for enthusiasts by enthusiasts. Get a free quote at jasonsentme.com. If you haven't already, you're about to see a lot of content on the ZR1X's acceleration, and that's because it has all of the ingredients to be the fastest accelerating car America has ever made, and quite possibly the quickest car in the world. And it got there by having all of the go-fast tricks in the Corvette's complex, yet brilliantly simple hierarchy. There are 3 engines in the Corvette lineup. The base 495 horsepower Stingray is a monster out of the box, hitting 60 miles an hour in 2.8 seconds. Swap out its pushrod 6.2 liter for a 5.5 liter quad cam flat plane crank V8, and you have the 670 horsepower Corvette Z06. In our test, it banished a Porsche 911 GT3 and posted a 10.5 second run through the quarter. Next up is the twin turbocharged version of the Z06 engine, the ZR1. It makes 1,064 horsepower, pulled an outrageous 9.8 second run through the quarter, dusting the new Lamborghini Revuelto in the process. Partial credit for that performance goes to the Corvette's mid-engine traction. On the other hand, the best part about the mid-engine switch was that it left room up front for electric all-wheel drive. The E-Ray was the first all-wheel drive Corvette, and it got there by adding a 160 horsepower motor to the base Stingray engine. That electric added boost was enough for it to beat even the Z06 through the quarter mile. This new Corvette adds an even more powerful electric motor to not just the base Stingray's V8, but the top-spec ZR1's V8, meaning 186 horsepower on the front, 1,064 on the rear, and the ability to incinerate all 4 tires on demand. We've tested the 1,234 horsepower Lucid Air Sapphire twice, and twice it landed on top of our leaderboard. To call this 5-passenger luxury sedan fast is an understatement, even when we lined it up against a 1,500 horsepower Bugatti Chiron Pur Sport. The Lucid came out victorious. We tried to dethrone it again with the Dodge Challenger Demon 170, whose manufacturer claimed a time that would beat the Bugattis. But the Lucid absolutely humiliated the Dodge on a regular surface, and then again on a specially prepped drag strip with sticky traction compound all over it. The reason beating a very fast electric car on a drag race on asphalt is so difficult all comes down to the instantaneous response of its electric motors. With cars this powerful, the first half of this drag race isn't actually about output at all. It's really a battle of traction control. And this Lucid can adjust the output of each of its 3 electric motors individually from 0 to 100% 1,000 times per second. Talk about traction control. These cars' power and grip should make them natural candidates for a drag strip, but actually that's not the case. NHRA certified events require full race prep, including a safety cage, if your car runs over 150 miles an hour or traps in under 9 seconds. The Lucid easily beats 150 on VHT, and the Corvette should too. But GM's sub 9-second ET claim means the ZR1X could get you banned from the drag strip for 2 reasons. Well, now you know why we're here. Because driving at over 150 miles an hour on a regular road surface is safe and perfectly legal. When that road surface is a runway, do not forget we work for an insurance company, so safety first. And speaking of safety, when you're out on the public roads following every single law, including the speed limit, you should have a Valentine 1 radar locator to find the radar before it finds you, especially when you're driving something very fast, like a Volkswagen Golf R or a BMW M2 CS. Thank you, Valentine 1. This is the 328 horsepower Volkswagen Golf R, and it is, for perspective, the fastest accelerating hot hatch ever sold in America. This is the brand new CS, the fastest variant of the BMW M2. Its S58 code 3-liter twin-turbo straight-six is known the world over for being underrated, and its rating is an already outrageous 523 horsepower. These are 2 of the fastest attainable-ish cars your money might be able to buy. Drive one of those cars hard in traffic and you'll think you're in a really fast car. But if you've never launched in something with over 1,000 horsepower and all-wheel drive, there is nothing I can say to prepare you for it. So instead, we're gonna show you. To that end, we've parked the Golf football field back that direction. It'll kick everything off by engaging launch control, dumping its clutch, and charging through here with everything it's got. Meanwhile, these 2 beasts do absolutely nothing until the moment the Golf comes flying through here with a speed advantage of however many miles an hour it can gather in that 300 feet. Meanwhile, the M2 is a football field in that direction. It will launch at the same time as these 2 cars do, charging towards that finish line, but it has to cover 300 fewer feet. That's a different kind of advantage. So, which one will win? You, because this is the craziest race you've ever seen on your tube. YouTube. Use tubes. Yours is Tubes' is. I think is what I said before, and that still stands. But oh my God, so much just happened, and it all happened so quickly that I think we need to do that thing where we slow down time and we go back and watch. Come with me. Rewind the tape. Okay, this is all happening in slow motion because the show is called Ultimate Drag Race Replay. Anyway, the Golf dumped its clutch at 4,000 RPM and with no wheel spin banged off a 4.1 second run to 60. Precisely 1.2 seconds later, it will cross that line traveling exactly 67.7 miles an hour, meaning the fastest hot hatch you could buy got an interstate highway's worth of speed advantage. Watching the hot hatch from Wolfsburg accelerate towards them with all the fury of a wolf from the Berg, the Lucid and Corvette are just sitting there with launch control activated. The Lucid in silence, the Corvette at 3,300 RPM with its computer playing tricks to build around 9 psi of boost. If you've ever stood on the shoulder of a freeway when cars in the near lane fly by you, then you'll understand the percussive acoustic impact of the Golf blowing between the Lucid and Corvette. That served as the virtual gunshot for the two static cars to each unleash more than 1,200 horsepower on their poor tires. Hey, yo, over here. I'm standing exactly where the M2CS was when it launched, which is 300 feet past the starting line where the 1,200 horsepower cars launched. The Golf is getting here first, and when it does, the BMW will be 72 feet that way. The other cars are behind it, but they're not gonna stay there for long because the Golf's 67 mile an hour speed advantage has dropped already to just 20 miles an hour. Those two cars are right now traveling at exactly the same speed after they've both just pulled off identical 2-second flat runs to 60 miles an hour, separated by just 4/100ths of a second. And by the way, the Corvette got there first, which nobody expected. Either way, they're coming for that Golf fast. How fast, you might ask? Well, right here, the Lucid and Corvette both hit 100 miles an hour, and yet the Golf still hasn't. It's only doing 97. This means that the Sapphire and ZR1X can accelerate from a dead stop all the way to 100 miles an hour in the same amount of time it takes the truly quick Volkswagen to accelerate from 67 to 97. The BMW M2CS is just behind the Golf at this point, and its goal is to catch that Volkswagen before the Lucid and Corvette catch it. And it has the power to do it, just maybe not the grip. As the only rear-wheel drive car here, it struggled for traction the entire way to 60 miles an hour, hitting the mark in just 3.4 seconds. A hell of an accomplishment. But it wasn't nearly enough. Once that monster S58 could really stretch its legs, well, it was already too late. Pass was nuts. Yeah. Not only did the Corvette catch the Golf, but it blew by it going 35 miles an hour quicker. And don't forget, the Golf had a 67 mile an hour head start. Poof. Corvette also beat the Lucid. They both tripped within the same tenth, so they're 9.1 second quarter miles for both of them, but the Lucid was going 3 miles an hour quicker. So clearly our reigning champion wants its title back. On the launch, these two cars are so close that we used two different GPS units, one that calculates location 20 times a second and the other one 25, and they couldn't reliably tell us which one was in the lead. To have a perfectly accurate drag race between these two cars, they would have to launch within less than 1/100th of a second of one another, and most humans aren't capable of that. By 60 miles an hour, no clear victor was emerging. The Corvette got to 60 4/100ths of a second sooner, but the Lucid hit 60 traveling 12.8 fewer inches along the way. This is a dead tie so close that the computers can't tell them apart. It's all within the noise. The two 1,200 horsepower monsters finally start to separate once they're over 100 miles an hour. But separate is relative because they're never more than a couple car lengths apart. Or put in terms of time, they're always within a sliver of a second. The Corvette actually pulls on the Lucid Sapphire, words I never thought I'd be saying, until the huge aerodynamic drag of its track-focused ZTK wing starts to work against it. The Lucid's slippery shape means it keeps accelerating at a slightly higher rate, slowly reversing the Corvette's lead and gaining a couple of miles an hour advantage right at the end of the run, but ultimately not catching the Corvette in time for the line. And just like the Lucid, it seems the M2 ran out of runway too soon also. Oh, that wasn't as close as I was hoping. The M2 CS only had to cover 1,020 feet, when the other cars had to cover 1,320 feet. And yet this wasn't quick enough to beat them all to the line. But the M2 CS is not a slow car. By the time it crosses this line, it's already doing 117 miles an hour, which is about as fast as the Golf was going, and the Golf had 600 extra feet to accelerate. 600 feet is almost 660 feet, and 660 feet is half of a quarter-mile track. That is a very ugly, fast little car. Our test just wasn't long enough. Another couple hundred feet, it would blow right by the Golf, and neither of them would ever see the Corvette or Lucid again. We did do a full test of the CS, and the mighty little Bimmer posted an 11.5 second quarter mile, meaning it's quicker than a Ford GT, a Lexus LFA, and a Lamborghini Urus Performante. Keep that in the back of your head when you're watching this race. Same, by the way, with the outrageously capable Volkswagen Golf R. This isn't just quick to 60 at 4.1 seconds. Through the quarter mile, it beats a Lotus Emira and ties a V8 Mustang Dark Horse. And yet, with a football field head start, it finished this race behind the 1,250 horsepower Corvette ZR1X. I guess that's what having 3.8 times the horsepower will do. But to find a car with more power than the Chevy or Sapphire, you're spending way more than 3.8 times the money. More like 16 times the cash, which would land you in $5 million Bugatti Chiron town. And then you'd be slower anyway. What an amazing race, am I right? Well, it's not actually over yet, because the next time you see our leaderboard, the Lucid will be back on top with the Corvette below it. Wait, what? I saw the Corvette win. You saw the Corvette win. The problem is the Corvette and Lucid both crossed the finish line in the same 10th, with the Lucid traveling more quickly. So by the numbers, the Lucid won, even though it didn't. Don't get mad at me. I didn't invent rounding. I don't make the rules. This is just what happens when you're at the very top of the heap, scraping for scraps at the far end of the decimal point. In the meantime, though, you can take solace in the knowledge that on regular pavement, the Corvette ZR1X is the quickest accelerating combustion car in the world. And you thought those guys were quick. Nope.